Thank you for all y'all do. Just want to say, a couple of years ago I spoke to actually make a resolution, and it was passed by you guys to do a resolution that Jasper County actually recognized the designation that we've been celebrating for over 49 years this November 7th. I put something in your package. I don't know if you've got information from the DNR, some information. Actually, part of it was noted in the paper. Yeah. But it talks about a subcommittee that I was on for the Department of Natural Resources, which basically did a 10-year plan for the deer management for the state of Georgia. The legislation just pretty much, according if you read that, pretty much gave deer, white-tailed deer, one of the top species, or one of the most, say, overrated species, whatever you want to look at, most hunted, whatever, call it problems, whatever people call those things, pretty much put it at the top of the list. The bottom line is, according to that piece of paper and the research that we did to come up with this 10-year program, there's $890 million a year that is spent on this, what we actually have 3 months out of the year to hunt, which is here through the whole year for us to enjoy if you do that kind of stuff, or eat your garden, depending on what you're looking at. But the bottom line is, next year becomes Jasper County's 50th year for being what we call recognized when we started celebrating it with the Deer Festival 50 years ago. Okay, I really think that with those numbers, the amount of money that's spent in the state, the number of the jobs, that 11,000, I think people are employed in the industry that helps that. I think we really, as a county and a city, I spoke to the city last week, need to come together a little bit and kind of think about that and those numbers. And I'm not a real smart businessman, but it doesn't take much to realize that if there's that much money to be out there to be spent on it, and we are registered and celebrate the deer capital of Georgia, that we really need to kind of focus on that a little bit more. I know a lot of these things take money out of our pockets, but let's think about some ways to actually put money back into the community. So I'd really like for us to celebrate it. Thanks for putting the sign up there. And I'd also ask the county, I talked to Karen about this a while back, on the roads, they are still at the county lines. Those signs are still not up. And I know that there was some problems with somebody said who was going to put them up or whatever. I'll put the damn things up. Okay? It doesn't matter. If the DOT will let me, I'll do it. So if there's something we can do to do that, and if you guys could come together with the city within the next year and really put this 50th anniversary that's coming together and maybe really help us put us on the map, maybe a lot of things will change for our community. That's it. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I think that maybe you can, Adam, that can probably spearhead a committee from both county and city and get something going on to bring that.
Okay. I spoke to them, so we'll see what actually can be done.
If you'll run point on it, we'll support it.
Well, I'm here, and this group is, the group is still banded together as far as the group called Deer Capital. We just don't do a lot of functions like we were doing to begin with to notice it. But Georgia Outdoor News has basically still been, knocking on our door, wanting to know what we can do. And with the deer, and let me just say this, with the harvest, or let's just say the Department of Natural Resources confiscating the deer that was killed not too far from downtown Monticello last year, it's one of the biggest deer in the state of Georgia, and it was just so happened to be harvested by a poacher. And I understand that the county is basically going to mount that deer. Have y'all been told that? I came to the county and said that we would be able to help mount the deer, put it in the rotunda. I don't care what we do with it. Fully mounted deer. And the guy that is the world champion taxidermist lives in Jasper County. Okay, he is willing to donate his time, and all we've got to do is find a cage for the deer and pay for the supplies to be able to make it happen. And it's $2,500 worth of supplies. But the bottom line, it would be really nice to have. I mean, that's huge. I mean, you just don't get that. We're not noted as being taking one of the largest deer last year because it was taken via poacher. So we don't have those types of things. So that's another thing to consider. Where is that deer? I was told that it was at Newbern Taxidermy. So we would really have to go to court, and the court has to be settled before we can actually take confiscation of it. But we've already had one other deer confiscated like that. Okay?
Okay, thank you. Next, we have